more loud.
Now, I like horror movies. Love them, I'd even say. So when I heard that Osgood Perkins had a new movie coming out, I was excited, to say the least. Because with a track record like Perkins, this one's gotta be great. I mean, it's gonna give me all of the good feelings that a normal horror movie usually gives me. The chills down your spine, the creepy aura, the intense feeling that somebody's watching you and about to kill you, and the little tent pitched up in your pants. Don't think I don't see that, buddy. This movie gave me like half of that. Keeper is a confusingly interesting movie that I don't know how to explain, so I'm gonna try and keep spoilers out of this. Also, when I went to go see this movie, I was literally the only person in the theater. No one else was there. Also, if you couldn't tell, I moved. That's where I've been for the past like 6 months. So the movie's basically just a couple going on a getaway to a cabin in the woods, but not in like the cheesy, overplayed horror way. Liz and Malcolm are the couple, played by Rossif Sutherland and Tatiana Maslany. Yeah, She-Hulk Tatiana. Malcolm is a doctor and gets called in for a patient that just woke up from a coma, so he needs to go back into town, leaving Liz alone in the cabin. And it's now being alone in the cabin that Liz starts to realize things are not right. And we get a slow and agonizing descent into madness, not knowing what's real and what isn't. Now let me be the first to say that Tatiana in this movie, Jesus Christ, fucking phenomenal. I mean, with the mix of madness and fear, it is great. Like, there's a scene where she literally is told, "You're gonna die," and she just goes berserk. Now Mr. Sutherland, on the other hand, I don't know if it was a stylistic choice to make him this bland and empty and emotionless through the entire movie, but if it was, they fucking hit the nail on the coffin there. That shit was not it. Like, there's a part where he gets scared and he just... So this movie is a slow burn, a very, very slow burn, but not in a bad way. The slow burn itself is great. Like the intenseness and the emotion in why am I stuttering so much? The intenseness and the emotion in the slow burn is great. And then you hit the third act of the movie and you're like, what the fuck? The third act is definitely the worst part of this movie. It just goes down from there. The climax of the movie is definitely the downfall of it. It doesn't do any favors. In fact, it makes the entire slow burn that you just sat through, the very patience that you had during the entire film, it kind of just spits in your face. You're gonna make such a slow burn, and I mean a slow burn, you need to have the payoff worth it, and the questions you pose need to be answered in a way that the audience is satisfied. I was not satisfied with any of it. They barely answer any questions. They just like, yeah, this happened. Dude, I just sat through an hour and a half of slow burn madness. But it's time to wrap it up and tell me what the hell is going on. Meanwhile, Perkins is in the corner of the damn empty theater. And nah, he ain't getting shit from me. I felt betrayed by the end of the movie, because everything in the big reveal at the end was either one, not revealed at all, or two, you had already figured it out by the first 5 minutes of the movie. I'd like to say I like the lore. They fucking explained any of it. They explained what was going on and this happened and that this happened, but tell me why this happened. Tell me how this happened. Don't just, you know, somehow Palpatine returned. Everybody also doesn't act regular. Like, sure, horror movies always have the worst decisions. We all know this. Not even just decisions. It was just like personality, I guess. I don't know. It didn't make sense. Like, there's one scene where Liz and Malcolm are, you know, they're getting pretty hot. You know, they're getting hot and heavy. Getting a little freaky. And in the middle of it, Malcolm's like, hold on, I got cake. Stops making out with Liz and gets up and walks over to a cake. Also, I never thought they'd be two movies that make me hate chocolate cake, but Matilda got competition. If you know, you know. And the time between when things start happening and when Liz wants to leave is incredibly long. Like, if I was Liz, I'd be gone after like the first 15 minutes of the movie. I'm not gonna say when she tries to leave, but it's unfathomable that she stayed there that long. I'm honestly making this movie sound a lot worse than it is, because it pissed me off, and the more I talk about how much it pissed me off, it pisses me off more because I realize how much they fucked it up. It's not that bad, guys. Come on. The monster design is good. I can't really say for what the monster is because they don't really explain. I mean, yeah, they kind of say the thing of her being the mother, or at least looking like their mother. They don't even explain how the mother was pregnant with them in the first place. I don't know what they are. They don't say if they're demons or something because they were given birth by what I'm assuming is a human. The shot of all the girls from before Monster, if you saw the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It looked good for about 5 seconds, and then after that 5 seconds, they stayed on her face, or should I say faces, am I right, boys? Now, if they had like a farther shot from her, that would have been great. Worst part of not explaining anything is when Liz is trying to leave and Malcolm's just like, yeah, you know, they locked the doors. I don't know how, but they did it. Malcolm isn't really a character I cared for, like, at all. Like, not in a bad way or a good way. I didn't hate him as a character, and I didn't love him as a character either. So the whole thing of him and Liz switching wasn't like a payoff for me, because I really just didn't fucking care about him. It didn't feel like satisfying to see him hung upside down and poured into a pot of honey like Winnie the Pooh. You know, the more I talk about this movie, the less positives I am finding, and I don't like that because I really did enjoy the movie. It may not sound like it, but I did. I'm sorry. I think this movie seriously fumbled at the climax. Build up was great, like I've been saying. The slow burn part was great up until the climax, and everything's supposed to pay off, and it just didn't, which made slow burn suck because now it meant nothing. Tatiana, like I said, phenomenal in this movie. Her acting is one of the core good things in this movie that keep you entertained, I guess, during the slow burn. Like, it doesn't make you lose interest. It's just that climax that ruined it for me. Instead of putting all the pieces together, it just threw more pieces in the pile, and it's like, dog, what is going on? Yeah, this movie gets like 8 cabins out of 23 woods.